ScarAudio.com. Whether you're tailgating before a game or heading to the playoffs, experience premium sound with ScarAudio.com. Cutting edge speakers, amplifiers, and subwoofers engineered for maximum impact. Elevate your ride today at ScarAudio.com.
Rock out to some of the greatest hits of the 90s at Hawkfest. Catch some of the greatest hits from bands like Slipknot, Metallica, Linkin Park, Alice in Chains, and more for the Chris Hockey Band, Matt Kirkwald, and a band of heavy metal misfits when they take the stage at the Summerfield Amphitheater on June 1st. Tickets are on sale now at LoopMusicRoom.com, but call their 11 right now. We'll win their way in with a pair of tickets. 1-800-320-5326. Good luck.
Welcome back to Duluth, Minnesota. Hi, everybody. Welcome as we are here at the Duluth Air Show. Lake Superior College Center for Advanced Aviation, getting ready for a beautiful day. We've got the full dais, ladies and gentlemen. The Power Trip Morning Show. Look at everybody. Mark Parrish over here on the left-hand side. Good morning, Mark.
It got better looking.
Yeah, halfway.
Are you freezing?
Almost.
Yeah, look at
Just three jackets on.
I know. We got Ben Lieber in the middle, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Lieber, everybody. Hi, Ben.
Hello, everybody. And I am freezing. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I probably underdressed.
And cool as a cucumber. Ladies and gentlemen, Marnie Kellner to the right-hand side here. Good morning, Marnie. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
And we're going to talk to you all momentarily about the Wolves, about so much more, about hockey, probably things, I don't know, something. We'll talk about throwing up in a plane with Ben a little bit later on. But right now we have a very special presentation, okay? Now, I've been saying all morning long, WEBC is celebrating 100 years in radio. That's WEBC AM 560 up here in Duluth, the second oldest radio station in all of Minnesota, just 2 years behind Minnesota. Come on over here if you would, please. We're going to do a very special presentation. First of all, please introduce yourself to everybody if you would.
Good morning. Mary Niemeyer, Market President for Town Square Media Duluth.
She is responsible for all this, for having the fan on the radio in Duluth. And you guys who are fans of the Power Trip, let's hear from Mary. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. You're the best.
The best.
Thank you so much, and thank you for last night's party. 100 years on the radio in this market. I would guess, if by my math, that means 1924. Was this one of the original clear channel stations, if you know what I mean, that broadcasts as an AM signal across America?
Absolutely. And I think one of the really coolest facts about WEBC, it was called the President's Station. I don't know if you know this, but Calvin Coolidge had the White House in Superior for 7 months, one summer. We were the only station. He was listening to it. And WEBC had to change its format to cover world news so the president could hear what was going on. Yeah, he set up the White House at the library, wasn't it?
Now, do you ever sit and listen to the Power Trip Morning Show and think, what have I done?
I will tell you, we added your format to our group of stations, back in 2020, and it was the greatest thing we ever did, was to bring your show to the Northland, because you have a lot of super fans up here, including me.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you. Now, we have a very special presentation in regards to that, so I'll introduce our next guest. Please say hello to everybody.
Morning, Chris. I'm Eric Forsman, a Duluth City Councilor, and for today, with our mayor out of town as a naval reservist, I am the mayor pro tem and filling in.
The mayor pro tem is with us right here. Yeah, the backup mayor.
Love it.
That's great. Now, just like the fact that we are on a radio station that the president used to listen to, you are a Power Trip listener. You're the de facto mayor right now, right?
That's accurate. I actually came to your guys' first live show back, I think it was about 10 years ago at Grandma's Sports Garden, and met a few of you, and I've listened for many, many years, and this is an honor and a privilege to be here with you all.
We are ruining the city, guys. I mean, listen to what's going on up here. This is unbelievable. Well, thank you for being here. And you have a special presentation you'd like to do right now.
I have two special presentations, but we're going to start with the first, which is the official order of business today. So I have a proclamation here to read in honor of WEBC's 100-year anniversary, and we'll jump right into it. So, from the office of the mayor, whereas WEBC AM is the second oldest radio station in Minnesota, signing on June 1st, 1924. And whereas WEBC was once known as the President's radio station, with a nickname granted by the New York Times when President Calvin Coolidge spent the summer of 1928 in the Twin Ports area, and the station altered programming to give him world news updates. And whereas WEBC introduced both top 40 and rock and roll to the Northland in the 50s, and it was the most listened to music station well into the late 1970s. And, almost done, whereas WEBC pioneered talk radio in the 80s and sports talk radio in the 2000s in the Twin Ports, and whereas WEBC has been a trailblazer in the Twin Ports for quality radio for decades, is the current home of the Northland Fan, and is proudly celebrating 100 years of service. Now, therefore, I, Roger J. Reinert, Mayor of the City of Duluth, do officially proclaim May 17th, 2024 as WEBC Day in the City of Duluth.
Well done. That's sweet.
That was very cool. That sounded
awesome.
like the Wizard of Oz thing, right? When he was in the river. That's very cool. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for
That's pretty
WEBC.
cool.
That's very, very cool.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
And check this out. This is the advancement of broadcasting. After 100 years, now Sauce will use the word whereas in a sentence.
Whereas the bathroom.
See, Coolidge is just spinning.
I've got to go.
Coolidge is just spinning in his grave right now. Okay, you said you had a second proclamation?
Yeah, the mayor's out of town, so we're going to take some liberties on this next one. But as I mentioned, I'm a huge fan of the Fan, and I've been listening to the Power Trip Morning Show for many years. You guys are awesome. We love everything you do here. Duluth is a huge fan of you, and I thought, let's shoot our shot, kind of like Jaden McDaniels last night with him gone. So we'll ask for forgiveness instead of permission. But I have a box here with the official city seal, Chris, and I'd like you to open that right now and tell me what you find in there.
Oh my gosh, this feels like the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Would you hold the microphone?
I would. So as the Mayor Pro Tem, I have taken the liberty to hereby award the honorary keys to the city to the Power Trip
kidding.
Morning Show on May 17th,
awesome.
2024.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Wow.
They all have your names on them. My wife actually took care of making sure that the names were on them, and the only one she really, really cared about spelling correctly was Marnie's.
Yeah.
So she practiced on the first 5 to get to the other one.
Oh, that's
but
so sweet.
This is
I'm
so
going to
cool.
try this on all the doors in Duluth.
Yeah.
it actually only works at Tyler George's liquor store on Arrowhead and Kenwood.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
Thank you for coming. We're thrilled to have you guys here in town.
Man, that's awesome.
Wow.
Dude, that's the coolest thing
Yeah.
anybody's ever given me. Thank you very much. Once again, thank
Key
you,
to the
Mr.
city.
Mayor. That's awesome. Can we elect you the official mayor at some point in your life?
More to come.
Where to go?
That sounds like a future run. All right.
Guys, we did. Look at that. That's like the coolest thing anybody's ever given us. How
Keys to
awesome
the
is
city.
that? Very cool.
I've never had a key to any city. I barely have a key to my own home.
No.
Little cities usually kick me out.
That's a good point, right? Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow.
Well, Marnie,
Great
this is just over the border from the Dakotas, right?
No.
I don't know geography.
Yeah, see? Not bad.
That's
Keys
very
to the
cool.
city. That's pretty sweet.
Man, do we
Has this ever happened to you guys ever?
never?
No.
I mean, even in town, has anybody given you the keys to
No.
St. Louis Park?
No.
Minneapolis?
No.
West End?
Oh my
Anybody?
God.
No.
We've been broadcasting from St. Louis Park for what, 20 years?
Yeah, right.
And man, I just found out recently about a restaurant that has the most unbelievable sandwich menu, named after all these just luminaries from some St. Louis Park, like Mark Rosen.
He's actually, I brought the guy in. He's here.
The guy from the restaurant?
Yeah, he's right here.
We got it. Good. It's good to see you.
Yeah, which is great because I know the menu is pretty extensive. The lunch menu is gigantic. He can tell you about it. He's off mic right now, but
They have it.
I think it's right down the street from us, is it not? So they named a sandwich after Rosie.
That's named after our guy.
Then I think they named
He once came by
a
the school one
sandwich
time. I
after
think he
like
came
an
through St. Louis
explorer
Park
that
one
like
time.
stopped
And
in
then
St.
he's a
Louis Park
pilot.
for like 2 weeks in
Speaking of you guys are at the air show,
1956.
I think this one actually.
I don't remember
So
exactly.
what's on the
Chickens
Calvin
can fly
Coolidge
in the air, and
sandwich?
then-
Oh, I don't think he's from
This
St.
one
Louis
came
Park.
through
You
and,
have to
we
be from
like to
St.
put a
Louis
little
Park, like
mayonnaise
Mark
on it.
Rosen.
My dad's from St. Louis Park.
Does he have a sandwich?
I don't know. Ask the guy.
What would be on that sandwich and how much does it cost and when can I go there and what's the website and what's the address and what's the phone number?
That guy not
If you
hear
want a
us?
cheeseburger,
I don't think he can hear us because Rosie won't give him the mic. So he's
What are your hours?
My name is Ronald McDonald, and I like to have a little cheeseburger from time to time myself. So you
and scene.
If you know, you know.
you're radio
Yeah,
for 5
well
people.
done.
That's exactly right.
Really well done.
How many people have listened the last week and a half and get that joke? Almost
Oh,
everybody.
that's
Okay.
awesome. I figure nobody knows what's going on.
For those of you who didn't raise your hands, was that just 90 seconds of complete nonsense? Fantastic. Okay,
that is
works.
not a picture of Scottie Scheffler.
Yes, it is.
Did they really arrest him?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They took him to the joint?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Clink.
Yeah.
That
He's arrested. There is no visitation. He's been
Okay,
moved
well,
to a
thanks, because I was going to head that
housing
way.
Wow.
Wait. They really gave him a mugshot?
Yeah, he's in prison orange.
That's amazing.
And it was absolutely a case of mistaken identity.
Yes.
He didn't know that was a police
Get
officer.
outta here.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, Marnie.
I heard you guys say that on the way here, and I rode with Pear, and I said, did they just say Scottie Scheffler got arrested? Are they kidding or are they serious? And then we Googled it, and I didn't see that picture, but I read handcuffs and the whole thing, like into the back of a squad car.
How could they do that? I mean, we don't know the rest of the story, obviously. There has to be more to it.
Adam Schefter just tweeted, Scottie Scheffler is scheduled to tweet off at 10:08, which I think is 9:08.
Tweet off?
Did you tweet off in your hotel room last night?
It sounds like you need to tweet off again.
Tweet off everywhere.
Tee off.
You're disgracing Calvin Coolidge. If you just speak well.
But Jeff Darlington,
Get his key.
Jeff Darlington reported it's uncertain whether he will be able to after being detained by police.
I can't believe
They don't know if he's going to be able to play.
Hey, quickly, we need to get T-shirts printed with Scottie Scheffler's mugshot that just say "Never Surrender" right underneath it.
I can't believe he's in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
He is.
He's
This is
in
crazy.
prison garb. I can't
Does he not
believe
have a lawyer?
No, he doesn't.
I mean, think if Hawk got arrested, how quickly lawyer Lambert would come to his rescue.
Well, if we get arrested for public in exposure.
Public exposure.
How do they not figure out from the time they have him in the back of the police car to orange jumpsuit that they have the wrong guy and the wrong
How did a
information?
police officer go, don't you know who that get him out of there?
That's what Marty and I were talking about. That's what I said. Is like, how does someone not recognize the guy?
Right.
Someone there, some cop, somebody has to know the golfers,
Plus,
somebody's
he's
got to be
probably
a fan,
saying,
something.
I'm Scottie Scheffler.
Hey, guys.
You would
He has an
Google
ID.
it.
Yeah, doesn't he have a pass?
I would guess they know who he is. It sounds to me like somebody's pissed that he didn't listen to him, even though I can't believe that's shocking. That is really shocking. I just figured you would think that they'd be like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't do that again. Go play golf. He's in an orange jumpsuit.
But that's a hell of a story, though.
Trying to go to work.
Yeah, you're right.
He might not be able to. He tees off in an hour
But he
and 40
tweets
minutes.
off in an hour and 10 minutes.
Let's make this about us. Let's say you made the largest bet of your life in Vegas on Scottie Scheffler.
Right.
And he gets this kind of job. You're going, I'm going to burn every city to the ground if I don't get to let him play. Like, this is such a joke. I'd be so pissed if I had tickets on Scheffler right now.
And Rosie's mad because that's his only shot of winning.
Hey, Sauce.
Well, shouldn't go off the board.
To answer your question about if he has a lawyer, he apparently asked as he was getting with the police, as he was getting loaded into the car, he asked Jeff Darlington, please help me. So,
think about that.
My God.
He's such a nice guy. He probably doesn't know any of this stuff.
I said this off the air. This would be like if we found out AJ got arrested. We'd be like, wait, what?
What was he doing? Tweeting off?
Yeah. Scottie Scheffler is A+. What is happening?
I don't know.
Man.
Even if he does get to the course in time to make his tweet time, just think about the routine. Like golfers and professional athletes in general, they are so locked into, I do this, I'm on the driving range, I'm getting up at this hour, I'm eating this. He's been in a jail cell? Did he sleep? Did he...
It was only a couple hours, right?
The all-time baller move would be to show up to Valhalla in the orange jumpsuit and shoot a 64.
Oh, correct, yeah. And just all of a sudden, Scotty's picked up smoking for
He's
being
got a tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I tell you, it's jail. He might be a little sore. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what has happened to him in jail. You guys, you realize, as we're talking, we are living through a 30 for 30 right now. I can't even imagine. We're going to be talking about this moment for a long time. This is huge. There's so much to this story we don't know yet. He had to have done something, or somebody overreacted in a giant way that's going to get somebody's ass in the sling. This is a big deal,
As
man.
Zacho said, Jeff Darlington, who's the ESPN guy who you see for all the football coverage, he was behind him.
Yeah.
He was the one who witnessed it all. Unbelievable. But how do you at some point go, well, wait a minute. He's supposed to be in this area. Why are we still arresting him?
That's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
in charge has been like, no, let him go.
Yeah.
I thought he was let go.
And it's not like he's rolling up in an 86 LeBaron,
he's in
right?
a
Like, my guess is he's got an unbelievably nice car, and like
An 86 LeBaron's a nice car. All right, everybody be cool.
He's probably in a car that says, whatever the sponsor is, Cadillac, probably says courtesy of so-and-so Cadillac, player-only vehicle. How did he get arrested?
Well,
this is unbelievable.
Again, I think the interesting thing, Ben, is that not just that he got arrested and put in the back of a cop car, he got all the way to the jail, put put in an orange jumpsuit, and nobody has stopped it. There's got to be more to the story.
There's got to be a lot more to the story. And the thing is that if he's out of jail now, I don't see how the PGA is not going to let him play today. Even if he doesn't make his scheduled tee time, they have to find some sort of way that they like, oh, you can play at 1:20 instead of 10:20.
Now, I'm
right?
sure, well, I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of circumstances where they would change it, but shocking. The PGA Tour is a big stickler for the rules.
This wouldn't happen on the Live Tour, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't even know what
They'll make accommodations for him.
Yeah. He'd have one less hand if this was the Live Tour.
Yeah, great point. Great point. We're so late for break. Let's do more as we come back, okay?
Marnes, I don't know if you watched the game last night, but they won 115-70. Marnie was at the game. We'll let her break it down after this on The Fan.
Hey, I'm hitting the road in a week. And as I head across America, you'll be able to hear me crystal clear with my Shocks Open Com 2 headphones equipped with 7th gen bone conduction technology, Bluetooth connectivity, and a boom microphone. It is the ideal choice for your headphone needs while on the go. Elevate your communication experience with Shocks Open Com 2 headphones, now available at Pilot Travel Centers.
Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show's live in Duluth. Thanks to our friends at the Northland Fan 106.5 FM and 560 AM. And, of course, all across America and the world on the iHeartRadio app. The Power Trip Morning Show's live in Duluth, and the air show is happening today. It's a little rainy out here, but there's going to be some great planes. It's going to be an awesome day, awesome weekend here in Duluth. Thank you to everybody for coming out, and thank you to our friends for hosting us up here at Lake Superior College Center for Advanced Aviation. A full dais is here. Mark Parrish is over here. Hi, Mark. Ben Lieber's right there. Marnie Gellner's right there. We'll talk Wolves in 1 second. But a friend of mine says that he's hearing that it looks like the rest of the story involves with Scottie Scheffler getting arrested. It looks like that accident happened, and he may have driven onto the median and went around the police and didn't listen to them, and that's why they arrested him. So there was the accident where
that's where
have some fault.
That's where everybody else was going. That's where all the other golfers. That's where the media was instructed too. That's the only way they could get around it.
Zacho, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm just trying to report the news. I'm sorry. I hear what you said. I think we're all trying to piece it together, but I'm with you. If there's way more to the story. I didn't know that part, that he had apparently driven on the median to avoid the accident where somebody died.
Yeah, and that is the other part that again we're not bringing up quite as much, is because it's just not Scheffler. It's not a name, but yeah, we had a pedestrian killed at the PGA Championship by a shuttle bus this morning.
God.
So that's why when Scheffler was arrested, or the reports came out, people were like, what now? And
exactly.
Is it connected at all? And it's not technically connected at all, but like Zach just said and Chris just said, it may have been going around the other accident, but Scheffler was not involved in the accident.
Obviously a heightened situation.
That's the point right there.
Where everybody's probably a little bit on edge about what's going on and trying to figure things out. So
exactly. So and we'll flesh that out as we continue to go. But again, we're live here, and we're going to be doing some sports momentarily because we have the big win to talk about. But there's so much to get to today.
Crazy.
Sure, we have the initials game coming up. We had the keys to the city of Duluth, which I'm going to use on every business as I leave here today, just to see which doors actually open.
That's not how that works.
Okay.
And Zach earlier said it was supposed to be 85 degrees in the Twin Cities. I can't feel my toes.
I can't either.
In Duluth right now. Now I did wear shorts. I'm an idiot. Jared and I immediately regretted wearing shorts. But it's not even about my legs. I can't feel my toes. It's freezing up here. Freezing.
It feels good to me.
It does kind of feel
got a
nice.
blanket for Marnie? Marnie, do you need a blankie?
This is
good.
Yes,
you kind of do, don't you?
And I'd like it to be plugged in and wrapped around me. The blanket.
This is coffee weather.
I'd pay so much money for a heated blanket right now.
Sauce, would you like to talk sports so Marnie can talk about the Wolves game?
Yes.
Great.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around Property Preservation.
Okay, this is a lot of info all at once. The Timberwolves absolutely stomped Denver 115-70. Ant had 27. The Wolves ended the game on a 113-61 run. They force a game 7.
Like a whole game.
Yeah, Gleeman tweeted that.
Outside of the 92 start,
Yeah. Denver shot 30%, the worst in Denver playoff history. That's the second largest win in an elimination game in NBA history. The Timberwolves beat the Nuggets by 45 points. No team had beaten the defending NBA champs by more than 36 in a playoff game before last night. Denver scored 9 points in the fourth quarter. The Wolves haven't played in a Game 7 in 20 years, and Game 7 on Sunday is exactly 20 years since the last time they played a Game 7. Denver is a 5.5-point favorite. Parrish?
Basketball.
Mark?
Being gifted.
Mark
being
is
gifted
getting
a blanket.
wrapped
Okay, I'm getting wrapped.
Yeah.
Everything you just said, first of all, I wanted to clap and celebrate and hooty-hoo between every sentence. We beat the defending champs last night by 40 points. Oh, my God.
What sport is this?
Basketball.
It was beautiful. The biggest lead was 50. 5-0. The game was over in the second quarter. It was finally the game that we had all been waiting for, where everybody showed up and everybody played well. And we know we can do that as a team. We just hadn't done it. We did it in Denver, but then coming home, it was like, where did that team go? And the Nuggets became champions really quickly and played like it. And now this was the game. Finally, 21 points for Jaden McDaniels. That's what we were waiting for. That second guy to show up and score. Karl Anthony Towns made a lot of right plays. And he played well defensively. Joker was flustered. Jamal Murray was flustered. Denver finally missed shots. Turns out they are human. Thank you. It all kind of reverted back to the mean. And now we got a Game 7 on Sunday night. Let's
go! Yeah! Hiya!
Marnie, I was going to ask you, since I basically turned the game off with like 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. I'm like, well, this is over. I'll watch something else before I go to bed. From a strategy standpoint, after the game and post game, what did you hear about how did we change things? Like, was there like a big fundamental shift in our X's and O's, or was it just better execution and they kind of like regressed down to the mean?
There was not a huge shift in X and O stuff, and I was in the locker room after the game. And it was a lot of, playing a little more physical and giving Joker different looks and hitting him higher and, tweaks. But there was not a fundamental big shift. I think what happened is a lot of things, and I know I just said this, but reverted to the mean, because guys like Aaron Gordon are not going to score out of their minds, but he did it for 2 games. And Jamal Murray was shooting something like 75% from the floor. And even for a good player, that just doesn't continue. So some of that came back to earth. And then some of our guys who had not been shooting it well, even in the paint, we couldn't hit shots. It was so infuriating. And those started to fall. So a lot of it was not X and O related as much as it was things kind of evening out. And then the Wolves playing with desperation. They hadn't done that since games 1 and 2. How they found it in games 1 and 2 in Denver, I don't know, and I don't know that they know, but they had it last night. They had no other choice. They either were going to play like that or they were going to go home real quick. So they found it, and this team all season long, when they play with an edge and with that desperation, has been so good. It's just hard to wrangle that up on a game-to-game basis, and they did last night. And I barely got any sleep, but I am still on a howl high.
Hey, Perry.
Yeah.
Since you've played in 7-game series like that, how does getting blown out in one game affect you the next game?
At this point, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. You never really cared about the score. Each game was kind of its own little entity, and you move on from there. The interesting thing about the game, one of the interesting things about Game 7s, is kind of up until now, one side or the other has kind of had their back against the wall. So after the first 2 games, Denver's obviously got their back against the wall. Then it flips after Game 5. Minnesota's got their back against the wall. Now in Game 7, everybody's back's against the wall. So everybody's feeling that desperation. Everybody's feeling that heightened of enthusiasm and having to control that emotions. And the beauty of Game 7s, and at least in hockey, you never know what's going to happen. Never know. And it's always nice to be the underdog in Game 7s.
Well, so Marnie, like that's why I think a lot of us in Game 6 were saying the first quarter was probably going to be the difference. We were going to feel which team was ready to either end their season or continue. And after that 9-2 start, you were there. Were Wolves fans in Target Center going like, "Oh God, this is over. It's going to be did you all have that sense of doom, especially like an Ant missed a layup, like nothing was going right. They called timeout, and it was obviously a 20-0 run after that. But what was the vibe in the building after the 9-2 start?
A lot of nervous energy. A lot of nervous energy because, the buildup is big and fans get there early and everything is white and tip doesn't happen until like 43. So the first play of the game for the Wolves, the first basket was Karl Anthony Towns' lob to Rudy Gobert dunk. And we also haven't seen that connection work. So it was like one basket. Oh my God, we're going to win. It's 2-0. And then just like that, boom, 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 Denver starts going. It wasn't doom and gloom, but it got kind of like, okay, come on. And you could just feel the nervous tension. Wolves call a timeout. That response, even someone like me who believes in this team and loves this team, that was shocking to see. A 20-0 run against the Nuggets. It was shocking to see, but I think the players needed to go through that and see it as much as anyone, because there's one thing to believe you're a good team and keep talking about being a good team, but then you don't show that on the court. And you're like, no, but we are. Last night, they showed it on the court, and everybody believed it, and Denver felt it. Like, that is the team. That is an NBA caliber championship. NBA champion.
Mm-hmm.
That caliber.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you got there. We're going to get there.
Yeah! She was in the locker room till real late.
I know, you guys, you got to give her a little bit of grace. Okay, so Marnie, we've talked about it, everybody that watched the game. The catalyst and the biggest difference maker was Jaden, okay?
Yes.
Yep.
J-Mac.
When I watched him play, maybe this is a stupid take, and I know that you're not in his head and all this other stuff, but what he can do seems effortless because he seems like a very natural athlete. And it doesn't seem like he has to strain to play that good a defense, to move around the court, to drive through the lane and get that super special left-handed little layup that looks so smooth. It looks easy for him. Why can't he do that every single game? Like, why can't he bring that level of intensity and energy that does seem effortless every single game? Like, what is his demeanor?
Well, his demeanor is exactly what it looks like on the court.
Is he super laid back, like super chill?
Yes, but he takes his basketball very seriously, and you can tell by how often he loses his temper on the court. But you were a professional athlete, and I can imagine there were games where it was harder for you to drum that enthusiasm and effort and energy up, or there were days where it just didn't come as easily.
It's not about me, Marnie.
Man, you're a better person than I am.
Oh yeah, that would have been your opening to talk for 20 straight minutes.
I would still be going.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you other than if you play at 100%, even at this radio show. I know you ain't giving 100% right now. You in the 80s. I've been listening to you this morning.
Wow. Hell is that supposed to mean?
Hey, Barnes.
There are days when you just don't have it.
I know. That's why I know it's an impossible question to answer. You're around the team way more than any of us are. I think it's frustrating when you see that level of performance and that level of energy. It's like, dude, that's what this team needs. Like,
but he has been good defensively throughout the series. He has.
Yeah, super good.
It's just the offense hasn't been there, and he's not a huge part of it anyway. He spends a lot of time in the corners. If he doesn't hit a corner three, he might take 3 or 4, and he might miss them all, and then it's sort of like, okay, well, he's not going to give us much on the offensive end tonight. But he is a barometer for this team. Chris Finch will say it all the time, even through the regular season. Jaden had 15 points tonight. Well, obviously we won, because that's all it takes is that extra push from someone like that, and he gave a big one last night.
Yeah.
Break time.
Man.
Sauce, we have
question. The updated charges of
Let's
Scottie
do that
Scheffler.
as soon as we come back from this break. We are
I don't know if he's going to play today.
Is that right? All right. Scheffler update after this. We are the Power Trip Morning Show live from Duluth in the Air Show on the Fan.
The Fan.
Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show live from Duluth. As you can see it, you can feel it in the air. The Duluth Air Show is beginning to happen. I see security out on the whatever you call that, the tarmac. The tarmac. Thank you very much, Marnie. We got tiny planes. We got big planes. We've got a whole bunch of planes on their way here. Ben Lieber's going to fly around with some real badass people today in a plane way up in the sky and try to throw up in a bag. Marnie Guller's going to throw up in a bag tonight after a few drinks at her house probably. But Marnie Guller's here as well.
Lynx game. Thanks for watching.
Oh, that's right. That is tonight. You got it.
What time will that be?
Not until 8:30 at Target Center tonight. Home opener for the Minnesota Lynx.
Let's go Lynx. Mark Parrish is saying hi to some friends back there. And by the way, for everybody on the dais right now, we're going to take a picture with our keys to the city as soon as we go to break here. So please don't run off to get coffee. We're going to do that. But as we were going to break, our news reporter, Meat Sauce Paul Lambert, had the latest on the Scottie Scheffler situation. Meat Sauce Paul Lambert?
Here are the charges Scottie Scheffler is facing. Second-degree assault, police officer criminal mischief, in the third degree, reckless driving, disregarding signals from officers directing traffic, and that assault charge, that second-degree assault charge, is a felony.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
You get a little handsy with the cops?
So this is the latest from Eric Crawford, who works for W something. I can't really read it.
It's got to be 3 letters.
Yeah, shouldn't it just be W something something something?
WDRB.
WDRB. Thank you,
So
Zach.
what about the DRB confused you?
You know what? Don't distract you.
It's W-Derb.
Please keep going.
Scottie Scheffler refused to stop when ordered to do so by a police officer. He continued to drive and dragged the officer with his car for a short time, which is why he was detained.
Whoa.
The officer has minor injuries.
Okay.
According to Adam Scheffler, who just tweeted, he's on his way to the golf course. Scottie is.
Okay, so they took him in. They took some pictures of him. They followed the protocol. They charged him, did all that stuff, fingerprinted him, and then sent him on his way.
Yeah.
Essentially, right.
Yeah.
So that is obviously very, very serious. We're finding out the rest of the story as we go here. I'm going to guess they're going to do some negotiating. I doubt he'll see any hard time, but those are serious charges, Marnie.
Yeah.
Well, if that is true, that if an officer, let's just say, came up to his window, said, you can't do this, you can't be here, going the wrong way, and he's saying, like, no, I'm allowed to go here, and then just starts going and then drags the guy to the point where he has some injuries.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. You I don't have a lot of sympathy for you, like PGA Pro or not. Like,
yeah, there are ways to handle it better than that.
Yeah, like you're on the wrong.
Right. Agreed.
What a bizarre story.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
One of whoever said earlier that all of the traffic was going around, I would like the clarification on if Scottie would just singled out as someone who, for some reason, got a different signal to go a different way, or if he. It sounds like
was everybody dragging
he was
people?
just following everybody else.
Don't you have an audio update?
Yeah, here's what Jeff Darlington saw, because he was right behind him as they were trying to enter the golf course here.
Entering Valhalla Golf Club this morning, we witnessed a car pull around us that was Scottie Scheffler was in the car. To be very clear about the details here, Scottie Scheffler has been detained by police officers, placed in the back of a police vehicle in handcuffs after he tried to pull around what he believed to be security, ended up being police officers. They told him to stop. When he didn't stop, the police officer attached himself to the vehicle. Scheffler then traveled another 10 yards before stopping the car. The police officer then grabbed at his arm, attempting to pull him out of the car before Scheffler eventually opened the door, at which point the police officer pulled Scheffler out of the car, pushed him up against the car, and immediately placed him in handcuffs. Scheffler was then walked over to the police car, placed in the back in handcuffs, very stunned about what was happening, looked toward me as he was in those handcuffs and said, "Please help me." He very clearly did not know what was happening in the situation. It moved very quickly, very rapidly, very aggressively. He was detained in that police vehicle for approximately 20 minutes. The police officers at that point did not understand that Scottie Scheffler was a golfer in the tournament, nor, of course, that he is the #1 player in the world.
Okay, so it sounds to me like, obviously, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misunderstanding. It sounds to me like Scottie Scheffler just thought it was a security guy trying to big-time him and was ignoring what he thought was a security guard that happened to be a police officer. The police officer didn't know Scottie Scheffler was Scottie Scheffler and started grabbing at what he thought was just a rube who wasn't listening to him.
Yeah, and
right?
That's kind of what it's, because he sounds like he thought he was a security guard. I'm sure he wasn't in uniform, or there was something.
He was
If the cop was in uniform, you know it's a police officer.
It was also very dark and rainy, I guess, is what they've also been
and
saying.
Somebody had just died in an accident as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
completely unrelated.
Kind of sounds like he saw the security guards and he thought basically like that's where he was supposed to go, right, Zacho?
Yeah, because they had messaged all the golfers that you are to be able to proceed through while they were stopping every fan that was trying to get in. They were waiting on, obviously, the other situation that was unrelated. But, yeah.
Wow.
So it sounds like everything else is a misunderstanding except for the 10 yards in which the police officer was attached to his car. I mean, that's the biggest charge.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Right,
that's
exactly.
it.
It sounds like it was Back to the Future where Biff grabs Marty's arm and he just basically takes him for a ride on the skateboard.
Just like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is more proof. Just never leave the house. The guy's just trying to go golf and now he's arrested.
He can't play golf
just
in his
stay in your
house.
basement.
He
You could play
can't.
MLB The Show.
I guess you could do that.
But he's supposed to tee off at 9:08 local time, and everybody says that he will. But what a massive distraction!
Which is crazy because this is not just some random tournament. This is the I mean, I can't read the rest, but it's a giant tournament.
It was written very small.
The Piga.
The what now?
Whoa.
WDRB was it?
Now he's stopped. Now he's mad at you. He's
mad at you.
What do you mean it was written weirdly?
Hold on.
It's okay.
Take your time.
No, it's all right.
Now what else? What else you reading?
He's just scrolling Twitter.
Going back to it. Where'd it go?
What is he? Why?
Going back to what? What you're trying to read earlier?
Yeah, hold on. Where was it?
Take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. That's what's going on with Scottie Scheffler.
He's still scrolling. He's looking for something.
Yeah. Perfect radio.
What are you
watching
looking for?
something.
The tweet?
Really gonna show us?
Oh, it's just written small, man. I couldn't read it.
No, that's okay.
Doesn't matter.
I understand
the
what
font was small?
Looks
Yeah,
like.
the Twitter bio thing was like this big, and I couldn't read it, and I couldn't click on it to make it larger. So that's why I said WB whatever.
Guys, real quick, I don't know if you've noticed over here. Hold on, as he looks for small print on Twitter. Have you noticed who's sitting to the left-hand side?
Yeah, we've noticed.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen,
The Iceman.
Yeah.
the Iceman is here. Iceman, welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show.
Hey, this looks like a target-rich environment, you guys, and you guys just got the keys to the city. I believe that put you in the top 1%. You are the best of the best.
Iceman is here, ladies. If you're not with us, you can't see him. This is the Iceman. Welcome to the air show. Did you fly in here, or what are you doing?
You know, Maverick, my wingman, I always tell him never leave your wingman, but he is supersonic. He will be here later today, but I don't think that key's going to start the F-14, but you guys could still be our wingman anytime.
Wow. I mean, I am impressed.
Do you have room for a wing woman?
Yes, we do. So I bring the whole family out this weekend. It's going to be a great time for everybody. We're always looking to make new wingmen, so Maverick and I, we definitely bring back that loving feeling.
Awesome. Zach Halverson back in the Twin Cities wants to know if there's a volleyball game later today.
There is, but you got to bring the baby oil.
How much?
Is reaching into her purse right now. She actually never leaves the house without baby oil. Iceman, it's a little chilly here, but we're going to have a great air show, a great weekend. Can people come up and say hi to you and take pictures with you while they're here?
Absolutely. That's why it's a target-rich environment. We're going to have someone out with a camera helping out. We've got lots of video, pics, everything. Post your social media and have a good time. Bring everybody out.
Awesome.
You're my hero, Iceman.
Hey, you could be my wingman anytime.
I love it. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Iceman is here. Say hi to him. We're live again from Duluth. at the Duluth Air Show, thanks to our friends again at Lake Superior College Center for Advanced Aviation. And by the way, do you see the people over there at the other table, the Cirrus people over there? Mm-hmm. Remember we were just talking the other day about whether you wanted to own your own plane or whether you wanted to rent a plane or something like that?
Yeah.
You know, you today could buy a small plane right here. They make them in Duluth. Did you know that they make those planes here in Duluth?
I did not know that.
They absolutely do. So not only can you learn how to make the planes, you could buy one and fly it yourself.
Are we going to get a deal? Are we going to get a power trip deal?
Since we're here, can we get it at cost?
Will Parrish buy us one?
There's a lot of looking down back there in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
About a deal. I'll buy one.
Yeah, right. I was told that they'll give us a full breakdown. So sometime in the 8 o'clock hour, I'm going to find out what it's like and like, what do you, I would guess, like, you have to have a driver's license to rent a car. Do you have to a pilot's license to buy a plane? I would think so, right? Can I just buy one and take off right now?
And do you custom make it? Or is it like...
Seat heaters?
Exactly,
yeah. Right, yeah.
Or when you're buying a car, you have different models, but then you can juice them up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, with shag carpet and stuff?
Do you have technology package in any of these?
Scheffler should have just taken one of those to the tournament.
Yeah, he might now.
All of these answers
on the fairway.
All these questions will be answered in just a little bit. And by the way, did you see, I believe an F-16 came in just a little bit ago. Did you see that, Ben? Yeah, absolutely. They're starting to come in one at a time. Ben, you were here last year. For people who've never been to the Duluth Air Show, this is super impressive, man. This is not a little thing. This is an enormous thing. If you've never been here, I encourage you to come up this weekend.
Yeah, I would encourage everybody to come up. It's one of those things like, you use the word impressive, you don't realize the power and the force and the majesty of a lot of these aircrafts. Like, you see them on TV, you hear about them, you see them in pictures, but when you see them up close, and then you see some of these big planes, and I'm not even talking just the jets, but the big planes when they take off and they do some of their maneuvers right in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
You cannot believe the sound and the power, and like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
There's an awesomeness to everything, and then you get to walk around up close and personal when they're parked and get pictures and all that sort of stuff. I think it's the coolest thing. I've been infatuated with military planes since I was a kid, so maybe I'm a little bit different, but I could stare and watch these things all day long.
Ben, I was one of those kids who built model airplanes, World War II planes, and hung them from fishing line from my ceiling as a kid. I love them, man. And last year they had a B-25 here. And I don't know what they will have here as far as World War II planes, but those are the ones that I love to see. Not only to look at them, but to actually see them in the air.
Yeah.
I become a little kid. I'm 53 years old. I'm 6 years old again when I see those planes in the air, man. So I love it here. That's great. So come on up the Duluth Air Show this weekend. You have no idea how close you are to such a high caliber situation like that. Come on up. And we're live today, and we're going to go to break. But when we come back, Corey, the 8 o'clock hour officially begins. We've got a big hour of the initials game. Lots of money on the line today.
Yeah, we can do Fan 5 and talk about the Wolves' victory over the Denver Nuggets. But then in about 15 minutes, we'll play initials here live in Duluth/Hermantown. And then, one of the listeners gets a crack at $65,500 with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union initials jackpot. And then at 8:15, initials between Marnie Gellner, Mark Parrish, Ben Lieber, Meat Sauce, and Chris Hockey. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.